why the trees aren't going to take their chances coming out yet.
Something appeared to be sitting quietly in the dense brush of the forest. It had wide, powerful shoulders, a head shaped like a cone with no obvious neck, and long, muscular arms covered in thick, reddish-brown hair. Skeptics argue it could simply be a bear, or maybe a person dressed in a ghillie suit. But the outline doesn't match a bear's body. Experts have suggested that if this thing stood up straight, it would measure at least 7 feet tall, something very few people could ever say they've encountered. So the question remains, is this the clearest photo of Bigfoot ever taken? A man was biking along a dusty trail that wound through a forest in North America when something unusual appeared among the trees.
So it could still snow again. That's why the trees aren't going to take their chances coming out yet. Now this one we drove by, it didn't look like it was clogged. But we'll see.
He thought nothing of it at the time, focusing on his ride. His commentary during the trip was casual, mentioning the weather, the snow, and the condition of the trails. Nothing seemed out of place. But later, while reviewing the footage at home, one detail stopped him in his tracks. Hidden between the bare branches, a massive figure could be seen towering well over 8 feet tall. The more he watched, the more it sank in that he might have captured something extraordinary. Although the recording itself wasn't perfectly clear, the outline was undeniable. Convinced by what he saw, the man believes the camera accidentally picked up none other than Bigfoot. Uploaded on May 11th, 2025, this episode of Oklahoma Adventures began as a relaxed riverbank cooking trip deep in the North American wilderness. The crew set up their camp, prepared their meal, and enjoyed the calm of the outdoors. Then everything shifted. The birds that had been calling went completely silent.
Agarró muy bien.
Moments later, the sound of heavy footsteps broke the stillness, branches snapping as if something large was moving around them. Unnerved, they quickly packed up. But on the walk back, they discovered massive tracks in the dirt, right alongside a strange stick structure that definitely hadn't been there earlier. It gave the unsettling impression that something had been shadowing them, always staying just out of sight. They filmed as much as they could, but none of them wanted to linger. Later, while reviewing the footage, one chilling detail stood out. A dark figure leaning from behind a tree. At the time, they were too focused on their camera work to notice it. But afterward, they couldn't help but ask, had they unknowingly captured the legendary creature itself? Back in May of 2008, a man was out geocaching near the Widowmaker Trail when he came across something unusual. Off in the distance, he noticed a massive figure moving through the trees. He quickly pulled out his camera and managed to capture a short video, but the recording ended abruptly. Later, he uploaded the clip online, asking the public what they thought he had seen. To his surprise, most viewers felt the footage looked genuine. But after posting, the man disappeared from the conversation. He never replied to any comments, never provided updates, and never released any additional details. Even today, the clip stands alone, with no explanation from its original source. And because of that, it remains one of those pieces of footage shrouded in complete mystery. The owner of the channel Hills Outdoors headed into a stretch of woods he'd never camped in before, planning to spend the night in a shelter he'd been building for months.
I have been building a bit of a shelter here over the last 6 months or so. I'm hoping it's still here. Mirror noises already. Yeah, I've never stayed in this woodland overnight before, so it's all new to me. I'm about halfway. What leaves that are falling off the trees? It's just Sort yourself out, Danny, sort yourself out. Well, this is turning out to be great. Can't remember where I'm going. Just walking down this path of this mud. There's some right noises. I know, it's all in my head and everything. I've never stayed in these woods before.
He admitted he'd never stayed overnight in this woodland, so everything felt unfamiliar. He wandered down a muddy path, admitting he was losing his bearings. Still, he pressed on. He found a spot and finished setting up the shelter for the night, but unease followed him.
It's freaking me out, that is. Hello? Well, I think I know why birds stopped whistling anyway. I heard some like shooting gunshots in background. Well, it's a bit weird, that's like probably a mile or two away. I don't know, I'm probably just freaking myself out sort of thing.
At one point he heard distant sounds, gunshots, maybe a mile or two away, and tried to convince himself it was nothing. The odd noises persisted, but he kept recording.
I don't know if you can make that out on camera or not. Just behind me, there's some like holly bushes. And you can just see mist coming in. So if it is bad already here, we've got noises, mist is coming in. Oh, I heard a bird at last. Oh, what were I saying? Mist. Oh, damp wood, no fire, can't cook, got some crisp and that's about it, and another 2 beers. Well, as soon as I stop recording, I heard some rustling of these holly bushes. Now there is a lot of squirrels up here. I don't know what to do if I come in contact with a badger. Would a badger get close if I didn't have a fire? I'm not sure I want to be here tonight. I'm a bit freaked out with everything. It's not like me at all, this. I might even leave this shelter here.
There were moments when silence returned. Then a bird called out and he relaxed for a second. "Oh, finally a bird," he said. He checked his supplies. Damp wood meant no fire, so no cooking, just some crisps and 2 beers. "As soon as I stopped recording, I heard rustling in the holly bushes," he added. He tried to rationalize. Maybe squirrels, maybe a badger. I don't know if a badger would come near a fire, he wondered aloud. By then, the edge of night feeling had taken hold. "I'm not sure I want to stay here tonight. I'm a bit freaked out. This isn't like me." He even considered leaving the shelter behind. Despite trying to push through and keep going, the tension would not lift. In the end, he packed up and left. Nothing dramatic occurred, but that gut feeling was enough. Sometimes, he said, intuition is all you need. A man was camping alone deep in the forest when he noticed someone or something moving between the trees nearby from the distance. It wasn't clear. Maybe a large man, maybe something else still. He chose to stay the night as darkness settled. Strange sounds woke him up, peering into the shadows. He spotted this man.
Man, it got dark on me quick. is that? Looks like eye shine. Whistle? Fuck.
Strangely unfazed, he tried knocking on a tree. Suddenly, right in front of him, the glowing eyes reappeared.
I'm gonna try one last thing, tree knock. Stupid thing went. Oh, wait. Damn it.
This was the last footage uploaded, but luckily it seems he made it out. While trekking through the snowy mountains of Nepal, 2 mountaineers caught this on camera. They were struggling to breathe in the thin air when they noticed a massive figure moving through the snow. Like it was nothing at first, it looked almost human. But then they saw it was way too big and completely covered in thick black fur. There was no way it could have been a person staring at it. The only thing that made sense to them was the old legend of the Yeti. Even now, no one's managed to explain what they saw. A woman living near Red Gott Bay, Ontario, spotted something strange moving in the woods behind her house. The area is remote, so anything out of the ordinary stands out. She grabbed her phone and filmed it. Later, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch team stabilized the video, revealing a tall, dark creature with an unusually long arm. Locals familiar with similar past sightings quickly suggested it could be Bigfoot wanting to avoid unwanted attention. The woman chose to stay anonymous. In September of 2024, during a canoe trip on Lake Ashigan, 2 friends decided to explore a trail and take some photos. As they wandered deeper into the woods, they started hearing strange noises.
Should we get... What? What? Oh! Did you hear that? Dude, that's like knock... That's knock... Something's knocking, dude. That's not a woodpecker. What is that? Do you have your camera? I can't see anything. I can't see it. Whoa, oh, whoa. Dude, is that a bear? Des, is that a bear? Get your camera. Come here.
They thought it might just be a bear, but then they saw it.
I can't see it. Can you see it? I don't see anything. Oh, look at the size of that thing. Oh, dude, that's not a bear. That's not a bear. That's not a bear. Oh.
Later, when they reviewed their video, in slow motion, they spotted it clearly. A large black figure slipping between the trees. They couldn't believe what they had captured on camera. While hiking deep in the Appalachian mountains, this person came across something unsettling. In a quiet clearing surrounded by towering trees stood a strange structure, almost ritualistic. Curious, the hikers snapped a photo. But when they looked back at the image later, they noticed something they hadn't seen before. A dark figure standing in the trees watching the hikers, for no one was there. They had been completely alone, or so they thought. So, who or what was watching them that day? While patrolling a remote stretch of wilderness, a game warden and his son stumbled upon something bizarre. A towering figure standing in a shallow stream. Instinctively, they pulled out a phone and filmed it. The thing was huge, covered in dark, tangled hair, and walked slowly, almost like it knew it was being watched but didn't care. They shouted, but it never responded.
Hey, you! It's slender.
It looked eerily similar to what people describe as Bigfoot. Could it really be a Bigfoot? Or was it something else entirely hiding deep in the woods waiting to be seen? YouTuber Desert Sasquatch was out on a hike exploring the forest and filming along the way.
I keep coming across all these bones right in here that I haven't ever I've seen them, that kind of bone. At first I thought it was something else, but it's just a regular elk bone or something. I thought it'd been like drilled on or something. It hadn't. Anyway, Langdon.
At first, it was nothing unusual, just quiet woods and a few scattered animal bones. But after uploading the footage, his viewers noticed something he didn't. On the right side of the screen, a dark figure moves. He hadn't seen it in person. Only the camera caught it. Moments later, he captured. Just a person wandering deep in the woods. Or could it truly have been Bigfoot watching from the shadows? While out hiking, this man took a short break and decided to eat something. As he grabbed his food from his backpack, he accidentally captured this.
Yeah, did you see the big tree break over there? It was a good snap.
Something or someone can be seen. It's dark, solid, and it's postured. Doesn't quite match anything natural. More unsettling, it seemed to move, suggesting it wasn't just a tree. Unfortunately, the man didn't notice it in real time, so he never turned the camera for a closer look. Whatever was out there remains a mystery. On August 12, 2022, a solo camper ventured deep into British Columbia's Chilliwack River Valley, a region long whispered about for its Bigfoot sightings. The first night was calm until around 11 p.m. when he heard this heavy footsteps circling his tent. Then, a balanced rock stack he had built earlier had been disturbed. The top stone knocked off, yet the rest left untouched. The next morning, he searched the area and found this. It's the next day.
It's the next day. Now, this is the rock statue, the balanced rocks that we're talking about. This rock was knocked off of here. Give you some idea how high this is. This is perched on a large boulder, and it comes up to here on me. Okay, let's take a look around because I found something that's rather suspicious. Now, we see the ground here is hard gravel. Now, you listen to me stepping here as the car passes. This is the steps, one after another. They were bipedal, meaning upright, one step after another. But this, do we see that? Do you see that? Because that is my foot. I'm a size 12. Hey, look here. We have a heel, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. This looks like a left foot imprint. Right here. I can't cast it. It's probably not deep enough even to get a casting on that. But we can see.
The strange activity continued. This is night 2.
This is night 2. This is my last night here. And I don't have to worry, but we're going to give you an idea here, just quick again, at night, what it is like around here, okay? Now bear in mind, this is wild country. There are bears and cougars around, so I'm trying to make myself audible at all times and let them know that I'm here, okay? We can see up the road here and down. This is Pierce Creek. Did you guys just hear that? Okay, my gear is in the camp, in the tent. I just heard a knocking sound.
In the in-camp in the tent. I just heard a knocking sound, whatever was out there never showed itself. A hiker was wandering through Utah's pack and canyon, soaking in the quiet trails and tall trees, when his camera caught something strange, something it shouldn't have. As he scanned the forest, a massive dark figure slipped between the trees. It moved kind of like a gorilla, but there are no gorillas in Curious. He carefully followed it. When he zoomed in, the creature seemed to notice, then finished into the woods. Locals whisper about Bigfoot. Maybe this time they're right. During a hike deep in the Olympic National Forest, this Reddit user spotted something strange. A dark figure can be seen standing with its back turned. Many commented that this might be one of the best footage captured recently of the creature. But is it really big? Or just a case of pareidolia? This trail camera ended up capturing something no one expected. In the foreground, 2 deer are clearly visible, but further back, a strange figure can be seen walking. At first glance, it almost resembles a child dressed in some sort of costume. But the longer you stare at the image, the less that explanation seems to make sense. The figure's hands appear unusually large, far too big for any child. And if it really were a person, why do the deer remain so calm, as if nothing out of the ordinary is happening? Some suggest it might be a juvenile Sasquatch. Whatever the explanation, one thing is clear. This single image leaves us with far more questions than answers. A Reddit user shared a story about his uncle's strange encounter while elk hunt in Ukiah, Oregon one night. As he made his way back to camp in the dark, a massive 25-pound rock flew past him, barely missing his head. The next morning, he returned to the spot and discovered large footprints embedded in the MUD. He considered following them, but was overwhelmed by an eerie feeling and decided against it. What made it even more intriguing was the tracks appeared to be following a deer. The user insisted his uncle isn't the type to make up stories, so the story is likely real. But whether it was truly Bigfoot, that remains a mystery. Back in 2012, a dirt biker was riding through a snowy, open stretch of forest with a camera rolling. The terrain was quiet, wide, and mostly clear, until something unusual appeared. Ahead in the distance, a tall, dark figure stood upright just off the trail. It didn't resemble any animal you'd expect to see out there. Some believe it may have been Bigfoot. Others are more skeptical, saying it was just a trick of the eye. But in the final seconds of footage, the figure seems to shift and walk away, so it was definitely something. But the question is, what exactly did he capture that day? While hiking through thick forest, a hiker spotted something unusual in the distance.
Watch, this is the original without the brightness added to it. So there's even kind of dark.
In the dim footage, a tall, human-like figure could be seen standing motionless between the trees, its head and arms barely visible. The silence was suddenly broken by snapping branches, followed by a deep, primal whoop that echoed through the woods. The figure shifted, then quickly slipped back into the tree line, vanishing from sight. Shaken, the hiker wasted no time leaving the area. Whatever was out there has never been identified, and to this day, it remains a mystery. Back in 2011, a strange photo showed up from a trail cam somewhere in Vermont. The original photographer never came forward, but the image started gaining buzz after Steve Coles talked about it online. It showed a hunched human-like figure with patchy, mangy fur and an oddly shaped head. At first glance, it looked like a man in a cheap ghillie suit, but then someone compared it to a photo taken in the same spot with a regular guy kneeling. The size difference was shocking, even though the figure looked kind of fake. That weirdness almost made it feel real. A family was on a road trip when they spotted something strange in the woods. While driving past a dense stretch of forest, they noticed a large black figure partially hidden behind a tree. It seemed to be watching them, and when it realized it had been seen, it crouched lower, trying to stay out of sight. The figure had a broad frame and moved in a human-like way, but its size didn't quite match typical Bigfoot stories. Honestly, it looked more like someone in a costume still, not any less unsettling. While trekking through the Adirondacks, a group of hikers spotted something unusual.
You see it?
No? Where?
Behind that tree. I don't see it right now.
Whoa, there it is.
It's a bear. That's not a bear. What is it? It's a freaking bear.
What?
A bear walking on legs that's brown around here? Bears are black here.
At first, they couldn't tell if it was a bear or something else. But looking at the footage, I get their confusion. It almost looks more like a gorilla, but gorillas don't live in this area. The creature quickly disappeared into the woods, leaving them questioning what they had just witnessed. What do you think it was? A new Bigfoot video has recently surfaced out of Stark County, Ohio. The exact filming location isn't clear, but with so many wooded areas spread across the county, the recording could have been taken almost anywhere. In the footage, the person behind the camera explains,
"What I'm recording right now sounds very similar to what I heard back in 1991 or 92. Does not sound like a dog at all."
Wildlife experts pointed out that no known animals in Ohio produce a call like this. When the audio was later enhanced, the strange howl came through even clearer. Reports of Bigfoot aren't new to the state. Salt Fork State Park alone has long been a hotspot for alleged encounters. And this new recording carries an uncanny similarity to the famous 1994 howl captured in Columbiana County. So could Bigfoot really be hiding in Ohio's wilderness? With evidence like this, some believe it just might be possible. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.